Hello and welcome to the Craft Consortium YouTube channel. My name's Elizabeth and today I would like to show you how to make a triple shutter card and gift box using Belle Fleur. I'm going to begin by showing you the products that I'm using today. Craft Consortium have a wide range of papers and embellishments, and I think Belle Fleur in particular is wonderful for making wedding cards, wedding stationery and gifts. Katie Hackney designed this beautiful illustrative floral masterpiece, and you'll see from the quick flick through of the papers how wonderfully coordinated these particular papers are. This set is the 10th collaboration between Katie Hackney and Craft Consortium, and it features beautiful wildflowers in a colour palette of soft greys, almost like matte gold and silver, and creams and a very subtle sage green. You can see how perfectly all of the designs work together. You can buy these papers in the 12 by 12 set or the 6 by 6. Both are perfect for the projects that we're using today. I also wanted to show you the stunning Always and Forever range. These embellishments, this particular one, a Diamante buckle, are perfect embellishments for your wedding stationery. It looks fantastic against the black, and you can see how deep the sparkle is. This particular one measures round about ½ inch in width. They are lightweight, they've got a silver background, and personally I find them easy enough to adhere using regular glue, but you can also use hot glue. So there are 16 in this pack, and they are very reasonably priced on the Craft Consortium website. We've also got an 8-pack of these pearl and diamante charms. These are classic designs, and again the quality of the product is second to none. I'm very pleased with the results that I'm getting with these embellishments. So these pearls are round about 3/4 of an inch, round about 2 centimetres in diameter. And again you can see how beautiful they are. And then finally the third pack that I've got to play with today are the Diamante charms. These have more of an opal effect, pearl in the middle. And again you can easily glue them to your projects. These particular ones are the larger ones, so these are round about 3/4 of an inch by an inch in height, and you will see how I use them in the upcoming projects to a great effect. I wanted to quickly show you these products on the Craft Consortium website. So here we have craftconsortium.com, and if you scroll along to the clearance section you will actually find all of the charms that I'm showing you today. You can go along to the wedding DIY and you will see a whole range of products from the Always and Forever range that have been greatly reduced in price. So if I was you, I would grab a bargain while you can and pop these in your baskets, so you can see you've got a whole range of these pearl and diamante charms. I'm only showing you 3 of them today, but these will work perfectly with the Belle Fleur. So here you can see the pearl and diamante, great price there, very high quality product. and then you can pop these along into your basket along with the Belle Fleur. So another way to find the products on the website is to type in the range. So I'm typing in Belle Fleur, and then this will bring up the whole range. It's a really well thought out website, easy to find the products. So you've got the 12 by 12, again very reasonably priced. And I'll also show you a range of ribbons within this range, because these will work perfectly and they complement the papers and the embellishments that we're about to use. So these are the linen ribbons, beautiful wording, and the lace as well is wonderful for your projects. And then while we're on the website, I wanted to quickly show you that the Craft Consortium team have a loyalty program. You can earn points and you can redeem them as you buy more from the company. So it's a great little website and it's well worth stocking up on your products while you can. So now you've seen all of the products, let's dive in and make the first of our wedding projects. So I'm going to begin with a UK A4 size piece of paper. You can use a 12 by 6 piece of card, but I'm working with the products that I have. So I've got A4 white cardstock, and I'm going to trim this down to 5 3/4 inches. The good thing about this card design is that you can adapt the measurements, so it could be a 12 by 6, but I'm going for 5 3/4, and then the finished card will fit in an envelope round about 6 by 5. So we're cutting it down the short edge at 5 3/4, and then we're going to begin scoring. Keep that excess piece of paper for the band, but we're going to turn our piece of card and we are going to score at 4 inches from top to bottom. Flip the piece of card and repeat. So again we're going to score from top to bottom at the 4-inch mark. Then you want to mark along the short edge at 1 inch in from the left and the right. So this will help us with our scoring marks in a moment. So all I'm doing is marking it at 1 inch and 4 3/4 inches. Then using that 1 inch mark as a guide, we're going to score at the 2 inch mark. So from the top down 1 inch, we're going to score, and then from the bottom 1 inch mark at 4 3/4, we're going to score down to the outside edge at the bottom. So you can see you've got a slight score mark, and then we're going to move along to the 6 inch mark, and again we're going to score down from 4 3/4, and then from 1 up to the top. Next, turn your card, and at the 1 inch mark we're going to cut down from the 2 inch fold down to the 6 inch fold, or the fold line. So cut down from 2 down to 6, and then move the card along to the 4 3/4 inch mark and repeat again. So you're going to cut down between those 4 fold lines at 2 inches and 6 inches. And that's all the cutting and scoring that you'll need. Next we're going to create the base of the card, and from the 2 inch line we're going to create a mountain, a valley, a mountain fold and one final valley. Burnish those fold lines down and the card will very quickly come together. So you've got the front folds and then we're going to flip it over to create the card that we're going to write on at the back. So there you've got your triple shutter card, and the larger panel at the back is where we're going to leave space to create our sentiment. Any of the papers in Belle Fleur will work well for this card. I only needed one sheet of 12 by 12 to create a set of panels to decorate the triple shutter card. Don't worry too much about the dimensions here because I will leave them in the comments below. But I've got two panels to begin with that measure 1 3/4 by 5.5, and these are for the two longer panels on the left and the right. I've then cut down the 4 smaller panels, and these measure 1 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch. So these will sit snugly on those 4 smaller panels. And then using the same piece of paper but simply flipping it onto its reverse. So that's the beauty of the Craft Consortium papers. You have got double-sided designs that you can work with. I've cut 2 further panels and these measure 1 3/4 inches by 3.5 inches. I cut a larger panel for the sentiment page, and this measures 3 3/4 by 5.5, and then I've cut in preparation a white piece of card that measures 3.5 by 5.25. I'm going to ink up the edges with my Distress Oxide vintage photo, and I'll speed this up because I think you've probably seen someone inking up panels before. Once all of the panels are inked up, it's time to stick them down. So I'm using wet glue. That is my adhesive of choice. It's entirely up to you whether you use glue or tape. And all I'm going to do is to stick them to the relevant panel on the card. Finally, I'm using my stamping platform and VersaFine Clair pine cone to ink up a sentiment and adhering this panel to the card. So there we have the finished card. I think it is a beautiful wedding card design. And to complete the process, I'm going to create a band that will fit around the outside edge. So you can use this to send it in, or if you're sending it in the post, you'll need something like a 6 by 5 inch envelope. But we're creating the band using the excess piece of card. So I'm simply folding it around and then adhering the two sides together, and then I will decorate this using some of the same paper from the 12 by 12 sheet. To add some additional wedding elegance, I'm using the ribbon around the centre of the band, and I will cut this down, and then I'm using some red liner tape to adhere the centre. I'm just trying out the buckle there, but I'm bringing in my red liner tape and I add a long strip of this so that it will secure the entire ribbon around the front and the back. And then I use my glass cutting mat to line up the ribbon, and then I will simply bring this round and line it up at the front. I can then use the pearl and diamante charm to hide the workings of the ribbon and to complete the band. It makes a beautiful wedding card, or you could use it as a personalised invitation. But now we'll move on to making the small gift box using the 6x6 papers. So this idea has been shared on Pinterest many times, but I thought Belle Fleur would make the perfect gift box. You could use it as a wedding favour, or you could use it as a gift box for a bridesmaid's gift, and I'll show you a sweet way to make a gift, once again using the embellishments in a moment. So using my scoring blade, you could use your scoring tool. I'm going to be making a grid of 9 squares, so I'm scoring at 2 inches and 4 inches, then turning the paper and again scoring at 2 inches and 4 inches. Next we're going to be working from the outside points into the intersection of the first square, as you can see me showing you here. So again we're using the scoring line, and I'm going to simply score down from the outside corner point through to the first intersection. So you're scoring across the diagonal line, and then from the intersection to the outside corner, and again you're going to turn and repeat this on the other 2 corners. So you can see you've got a score line from the outside corner to the first intersection. Now line up the diagonal and then score those 2 outside points. Now we're going to work at the top and the bottom of the piece of paper, and using a pencil you need to mark at the 3-inch point. A faint pencil line. You want to be able to see it clearly so that you can use your scoring lines again. So this time we're going to use those 3-inch marks, and we're going to turn the piece of paper so that the scoring line comes from the top of that 3-inch mark down to the lower right hand corner. Then you're going to score down to that pencil line mark that I'm showing you. So use your scoring tool. Again, you can use your block if you find this easier, or a metal ruler. And again you're going to now score from the 3-inch mark, line it up down to the lower left hand corner. Again I'm showing you the pencil mark there so you can see that you're scoring down to that first intersection. You're going to repeat the process again. Turn the card upside down and create another triangle, again by using the 3-inch mark, lining up the bottom right hand corner, scoring down to that intersection. And finally we're going to use the 3-inch mark, line it up to the lower left hand corner, and again score down to the intersection. That's all the scoring completed. We've now got to trim off the outside edges. So I'm folding along the score lines here just so that I can see the lines clearly. And so now I'm going to cut away the corners of the squares. So again, I'm lining up the outside squares using my trimmer, and I'm going to cut away from the top edge to the right hand edge. So I'm using the scoring lines, lining them up and then cutting away. Repeat this 3 more times. Now we're going to burnish down these score lines to make the little gift bag easy to construct. So I'm using my Teflon bone folder, and I am burnishing on the front and the back of each of these fold lines. Then we want to work on these corner areas, so you're going to pinch the triangles inwards and then burnish the folds that you will find on the inside of the box. So you almost want to pinch them in and then push them. When you come to the two sides, you want to push them in, and you will see that they will easily form the two sides of your expanding gift bag. I've got a 2-inch circle here because the width of the gift bag is 2 inches, and I'm going to create a channel that will hold the front and the back of the bag together and also give me a place to add a small handle. I find it easier to use my scoring board here. I'm lining up the circle into the corner, and I'm creating a fold line at the 3¼ inch mark on either side. Then I'm folding over those fold lines, burnishing them down, and then I will use some wet glue to adhere the back of this circle to the back of the bag. I'm using a small piece of white card measuring 3 inches by 1/4 inch, and then I'm going to score in on 1/4 inch on either side to create a handle, and then I'm using a bone folder just to curve that round slightly. So when these are prepared, you can then bring in your wet glue, and you're going to adhere the lower part of the circle to the fold line at the back of the box, and then you can adhere the handle using those 1/4 inch tabs to hold it securely in place. At this stage you may find it easier to use Velcro dots, but I'm going to be using some magnets. So I've got tiny magnets that I'm using some glue dots with. The glue dots are slightly big, so another time I would use hot glue. But all I'm going to do is to adhere the glue dots to the magnet, and then I am securing that in place below the inside of the circle, and then the negative part of the magnet I am attaching to the original magnet, and where that lands I will then adhere to the upside of the bag. This will hold it very neatly in place. But again, you could use Velcro, you can use a little button and a piece of string. It's entirely up to you. So all I'm doing now is finishing it off with one of the diamante buckles. So you can see how beautifully these always and forever embellishments work with the Belle Fleur range. To complete the inside of my gift bag, I cut a piece of 1 3/4 inch white card and added a "with a love" sentiment. Then I decided to use the last of the pearl and diamante charms, and I created a pair of clip-on earrings. So these were some clip-on earrings that I am repurposing, but you can buy these online. But I found that they work perfectly with the larger pearl and diamante charms. I used some hot glue to adhere them, and you can see they would make a beautiful wedding gift or an anniversary gift. But it's a great way to use the always and forever embellishments to make a relatively inexpensive card and gift with present using the beautiful Belle Fleur and always and forever ranges. This video has been made in response to the questions that we've been asking on the official Craft Consortium Network Facebook group. You asked for more videos and ways to use the products. Fingers crossed this has inspired you to make your own wedding gifts. Please let me know in the comments below what you would like to see next, and we as a design team will do our best to inspire you further. I'll leave you all the links that you need to make the most of the Craft Consortium website and the Facebook page, and please do join us again very soon for some more Craft Consortium crafting. Take care, bye bye for now.